Hello and welcome. In this video, Blender video tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make this bar stool you can see right here. So this video is going to be in two parts, modeling and then texturing. I'm afraid this first part, modeling, is going to be very boring because, modeling something like this might take a while and it's pretty repetitive, but I'll try to go through it as fast as possible. The design for this chair comes from a man named Christopher Knight. It's not my own design. I just came across this piece of furniture when I was on this website. So all credit to him for that. Okay, so let's open up a new scene in Blender. The first thing we want to be doing is changing the system of measurements to metric. And then using the default, let's just delete this lamp and then move the camera to layer 2. Using the default cube, we're going to be changing our dimensions. And I have my dimensions here to save time. And change the dimensions on the x-axis to 32 centimeters. On the y-axis to 28 centimeters. And then finally the z-axis to 3.5 centimeters. Okay, so now our grid floor is looking a little big, so let's just change that by going to the display settings in this toolbar here and changing that to about 0.2. That works quite well. Oh yes, and I'm sorry about these measurements. When I started making my bar stool, I had all the realistic measurements, and then somehow it just scaled down, and when I was measuring it I just didn't feel like changing it. So, but I mean it works like this either way. It's not going to make much of a difference. Yeah, so let's just trying to think what we're going to do first. Yes, okay, so let's add in some loop cuts. Just about 11 should do on both sides. And then what we're going to be doing first is selecting everything, hitting W, and then smoothing it out. You see, just once, because of course chairs are naturally more squared than couches. If you're making a couch, you want to smooth that out a few times, 3 or 4. Yes, the first thing we're going to be doing is adding in this curvature of the base here, which is going to be very easy to do. All we're going to do is select the center loop cut, enable proportional editing by hitting O, and then just bring it down using the scroller to determine how much we want to, how much of the surrounding verts we want to affect. So just something like that looks about right. Yes. Okay, so next we're going to be adding some seams because couches and chairs don't look realistic without seams. It's going to be very simple. We're just going to be adding in those two loop cuts at the top and the bottom, and then 2 center loop cuts. So selecting our center loop cut, we're going to just hit S and scale. Nope. Turn off version editing. We're just going to hit S and scale it in, just like that. And let's enable a subdivision surface so we can see what's going on. Let's just select smooth shading. Okay, so when you initially scale it in, you're not going to see much of a difference. Of course, you can see a difference, but it's not going to be as defined. What you want to do, what really defines it nicely, is moving it. So if you move it down on the x-axis, you see that made z-axis, not the x. On the z-axis, you see that made quite a dramatic effect right there. And it is a bit difficult to see what's going on in this with this type of shading. So if you like, you can go over here to the display settings, and then not display, shading settings, and enable matte cap. So this is a real cool thing. I love this thing. See, look at that. Now you can actually see what's going on. So yeah, so I'm just gonna scale this in a bit more and bring it down just to about. That's a bit too much. Let's bring it up a bit. Let's scale it out a bit. Just about there, and that looks pretty good. You're doing the exact same thing with the bottom side, bottom half, the bottom side, and then just scale that in and bring that up. And then that looks pretty good. Actually, maybe that's too much. It looks a bit strange. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, so now what we want to be doing is, yeah, well, I'll do this later when we start doing the texturing. Alright, so that's all for the base of our chair. And we've just gone into 5 minutes, so that's cool. Let's see if I can do the back side of our chair in 5 minutes as well. Alright, the base on the... Okay, now we're going to be adding in a new mesh. We'll be adding a cube for the base of our chair. And then going to dimensions again. Dimensions. 32 centimeters for the x-axis. I'm sorry, that's our base. Same as the what? On the y-axis, 3 centimeters. And then on the z-axis, sorry, 22 centimeters. Okay, so let's just move this over to the end of our base here. We're going to be doing the exact same thing, just giving it that curvature that has over there. Let's do that. Actually, let's scale this on the x-axis a bit, and then just quickly bringing these up like this. This is just like one. Keep making mistakes here. Happens when you're pushing these too rapidly. Yeah, so all we're going to be doing is scaling these down. And not scaling them, moving them. Moving these down to about there, and of course the center one to about there. Yeah, and that looks pretty good. Let's get a drink of water quick. Alright, so let's add in some more loop cuts, just like that. Select the whole thing, and then W smooth. Then let's add a subdivision surface as well. It's about there, and smooth it out. Alright, so you can see here. Oops, just open my media player. Okay, as you can see here, this seam we're going to be doing here is very different from the one we did on the base. I can't actually get a good view here. Yes, okay, there you go. Actually, that's probably be better. Yeah, you can see it's going all around the top of our chair. Sorry, and come on, cooperate. There you go. This I didn't know how to do when I first started this. I'll admit that I was very confused. It took me about an hour to figure it out. Because you see, usually you would do something like this, right? But one huge problem here, you now have this extremely sharp edge over here, and that's pretty unavoidable if you want to do it using this method. So yeah, it took me an hour to figure it out, but eventually I came up with this right here. This method over here, by just going to face select mode and selecting these faces all around here, deselecting the ones on the bottom, and then extruding this, and then hitting right click to cancel your the movement of the extruded, then hitting Alt S to scale out normals, and scale that out to about not too much, to about there. No, closer. No, farther. To about there is fine, and then adding in a loop cut over there, of course. And then look at that. We now have a nice easy way to create a seam and still have that nice rounded edge. Okay, so can deselect the side ones over there, and then with just these selected, I'm going to bring these in on the Y axis to there, and will you look at that? We now have a nice seam there. Yeah, and then we can do the same with the back of our chair here. The exact same. Just bringing that in just to there, and we now have a nice seam there as well. Alright, so another thing we want to do actually is grabbing these at the bottom here and then scaling these back to where it was, because you can see that now looks like it's going flush with the chair again, which is pretty cool. You can see that there. It gives a nice effect. Okay, so now what we want to be doing is grabbing the back of our chair here and just rotating it back to about there. That looks fine. Of course, most chairs have rotation, or else they will be very uncomfortable chairs. Oh, sorry, that's a weird noise. You probably didn't hear it. Okay, another thing I want to do is just select all of these faces on the inside here. Then I'm just going to be extruding these out, not extruding, just moving them out a bit. So about there, then deselecting the edge ones, and then doing the same with this. Just about there, that looks fine actually. Let's move these ones out as well. Just about there. I found that helps quite a lot. Alright, so this is looking pretty good. This is actually looking better than my original. Yeah. Alright, so now what I want to be doing is I forgot what I did over here actually. Let's just grab these over here and bring these out a bit, and then bring the chair. Okay, that looks pretty good. Alright, so now we're gonna start adding in our legs, not the legs, the other legs, our base here. So you notice the base we have supporting the chair is steel, so we're gonna be doing that. So that's gonna be quite easy to do and quite fast as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so let's add in the cube. Just to about. No, it's just you see my cubes all over the place. Adding another cube. Scaling this one down. I didn't actually take the measurements of this, but it's pretty simple, I think. Don't need measurements. Okay, so width, the y-axis, about. That looks fine. Adjust it to about there. That looks fine. Okay, now let's make it flush with the end of our base over there. Just about there. Looks pretty good. And then of course we want to be making it flush with the sides of our chair as well. And then let's add a loop cut in the center, because we're going to be adding a mirror modifier, making some things easy since Blender was around. Anyway. Alright, so let's add 4 loop cuts over there, and then just bring this up, and bring this up, and bring this up, so we have that nice curvature that we've been keeping at the bottom here. And bring that up, and bring this down. That looks pretty good. Actually, let's bring this forward a bit to there. No, actually, let's bring that back a bit to there. Okay, so what I want to do is just bring this object to y-0 on location. Let's do that. That's good. And then going to edit mode and then moving the mesh there, because we're going to be adding another mirror modifier to make things quick and easy. This one, sorry, we don't add another, we just have to enable the Y mirror over here. We'll be applying, actually no, let's go ahead and add in a new mirror modifier and then do it separately, because we want to be adding this one but not that one. Not adding, I'm sorry. We want to be applying this mirror modifier but not that one. Yeah, so that's what we want to be doing. Let's get a drink of water. Alright. So, what are we doing again? We have our... Yeah, okay. So now let's just go ahead and grab this this face over here. Just make it a bit shorter, a bit smaller, a bit more cubed as well. Like that maybe. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then just enable clipping, of course. Just bring that to the edge there and then delete that face, because we're going to be adding in a subdivision surface later on, so we don't want it to be it'll give us problems if there's a face in the center here. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Now what we're going to be doing, like I said, we're going to be applying the mirror modifier that's mirroring on the y-axis. Just go ahead and apply that. Reasons being, we want to move this over to this side, just like that. Okay, so now what we want to be doing, if you have a look at our images here, you see that the whole chair is bent, not bent, rotated up a bit. So let's just do that. Hitting A to select all, making sure camera isn't here, it isn't. We just want to rotate it to about there. That looks pretty good. Maybe that's too much actually. That looks fine. Okay, yeah, so that's looking pretty good. Now, I wonder if we should apply our subdivision. Yeah, let's apply that now. So just subdivision of 1 should be fine. And it'll be just like this, adding some loop cuts to make it a little more solid around our edges, making it a little sharp, as you can see. Looks pretty good. And of course we're going to be adding in some cuts over here so it looks more sharp, as steel naturally is. It's not, you know, curved like fabric or leather or stuff like that. Okay, yeah, that looks pretty cool. Alright, so let's go ahead and select these two faces over here. We're going to be extruding these to form our legs of the chair. So just hitting E and just bring these down to about there. I have the measurements of our leg. We want our legs to be right here. It is actually I don't know what I wrote here. 2, is that a 2? Oh, okay, gotcha. 55 centimeters. So from the top there, 55 up there is fine. Let's mark that with our 3D cursor. Cancel out of the ruler, and then let's bring these down to about there. And just by hitting S, X, Z, sorry, and then 0, we can align those on that axis. Just want to bring this down to, actually these legs are a bit stretched out, as you can see, so let's do that. Just to about, not too much, that looks weird. Just, yeah, like that, looks fine. Okay, so let's apply a, let's add a loop cut to the edge here so we can go to the end here. They're making all sorts of mistakes today. Okay, we're just applying some loop cuts to the end of our legs to give it some, you know, for some reason I'm just not coming out today. I keep making these mistakes. Anyway, let's add in some more loop cuts like this, just like that, so we can give it some more of its, there we go again. Just watch, you know what I mean. Okay, so going over to our image again, you can see the back leg is curved out more towards the back. So we're going to be doing that just to about there. That looks way too much. Way about like that, yeah. That looks pretty good, I think. Let me look at my other one here quickly. How much did I do it over here? Sorry, I'm just working on my other screen here at the moment. I just want to see how much I did this. It's pretty tricky. Yeah, okay, I see that actually does look pretty. That does look about right. Let's move it over more. Yeah, that looks good. This is my cushion is actually a little too thin as well. Yeah, that looks nice. Okay, and as you can see over here, we have a bit of a problem with our mesh. The subdivision is adding some vertices where we don't want vertices. So what we're going to do is add a loop cut and bring it up to about there to make that a bit sharper over there, as you can see. Just so you know, we can also achieve the same effects by adding a medium crease as I'll demonstrate right over here. But I'm quite sure you already know this. For those who don't, just by holding Shift E and bringing it out, you can achieve the same thing as you would by applying a loop cut. Sometimes it is better to apply a loop cut in some cases. Alright, so now what we're going to be doing is adding in these bars you can see. Sorry, adding in these bars you can see right over here. I also have the measurements for these. They are 31 centimeters from the top. So what I'm doing here, by the way, in case you missed that, is I'm just hitting spacebar and then you can search whatever you want over here. So I'm just searching for ruler. So 31 centimeters just to there. Add in our 3D cursor as a marker, and then add in these. Selecting these S, Z, 0. Adding in 2 more to about there. S, Z, 0. Just like that. And then from here we can grab our faces. Actually, no, let's make it look more cube shape. Just by bringing these down a bit. That's fine because it looks pretty cube-ish over there. Okay, let's select our faces and then extrude S, Y. And then just connect these to about there. Then what we can do here is delete these faces. Have to be in face select mode, of course. Delete these faces, go into vertex mode, and we're just gonna select, not vertex mode, vertex select, and then select 4 vertices at a time, and then hit F to fill in, to add a face between them. Okay, and here again we have the subdivision surface is adding definition where we don't want it to be. So either adding in a mean crease or just adding in loop cuts. It'll be better to add in. Yeah, let's add in a crease just along all of our things here. Awesome. I'm sorry if this video has been a bit rambly. I'm quite a busy. Been very busy lately, so I haven't really had much time to make some videos, but I've been really wanting to, so I just decided to do it today because I have some free time. So and I wouldn't say I'm very good at talking to myself. So yeah, let's bring these in a bit more. Actually, with these ones on the side here, let's make this 0.9. Give it a. It's the same anyway. It's fine. It'll look better once we add the shading. And let's just turn this matte cap thing off. It's a bit irritating at the moment. Yeah, that looks cool. Look at that. That looks alright. Oh, we're still blender in. That's why things aren't looking. That looks better, yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna add 2 more. Oh no, where's my other thing? I must have hit the shortcut key to not display it in the edit mode. How do I change that? Here we go. There we are. No. Oh, come on. Comply. Doing all sorts of things here. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Doesn't matter. We'll make do. Okay, so let's go ahead and select these faces as well. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. I've never experienced this before. Anyway. Well, never used it. It's obviously a feature. Anyway, let's delete these faces. We're doing the exact same thing here. Just moving some of this definition we don't want by adding in some increases. There you go. Just select. Okay, just like that, and then apply an increase of. Oh, full stop is the one that sets the pivot point to a 3D cursor. Okay, that's one mystery solved. 0.9. Alright, so how's that looking? This looks a little add. Oh my word, it's so annoying. Oh. Doesn't matter, I'll have this fixed this time. Anyway, we're just about at the end of this video. I just want to add in some of that. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Looking very much like my last one. Quite surprised I got it to such accuracy. Usually when you're making a video like this, you don't make the exact same thing twice. Yeah, actually this back here can be a little thicker, I think. No, that looks terrible. That's fine. Okay, it's fine. Okay, yeah. So the next video will be more interesting because we're going to be doing all the shading, and that's where the truth tutorial lies, because that's what people usually struggle with. Not so much the modeling. Modeling is very simple if you understand logic, because that's really all it is. But that's modeling like this. Topology is a whole different thing. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.